and there's no major observation. So broadly, RBI is saying, when all of you are saying not applicable and nil observation, so they're saying what is the value addition because of the audit by CS, but only we are spending huge amount in terms of cost. So they are spending a few hundreds of crores on the audit fees, and they're saying there is no value addition because of audit. So my only observation is, if we learn how to analyze the data, and a speaker like Saran Kumar will help us, because we are hardly getting 3 to 5 days to do the audit. And if you have to analyze the data, we have to use tools. And Saran Kumar is such a great specialist in the analyzing the data, and also a great teacher. I'm sure he would be able to take all the members, understand the ways of compiling the data, analyzing the data, and I'm sure these few hours of his training will help all our members to improve their skill on analytics, and ensure that their reportings will improve, and they give up factual comments. We don't want any some comments without any basis. So we have to comment. And then there have been a lot of situations where I also know there are members who get pressurized by bank managers not to comment in LFR, not to comment or give an audit or qualified opinion. But unless we comment it in LFR, so audit report is designed, we cannot change the design. But at least if we comment in LFR or someplace, our observations, notes, so only then it will help us to improve our stand. We have to fight at institute or RBI level. So anyway, whatever it is, but I would like to members, whoever have joined, to use the opportunity of pulling out time from Charan Kumar Garu. In fact, chairman was very keen of inviting Charan Kumar for quite some time. He was busy with branch elections, and I'm sure all of you are aware, he is now an elected member of Hyderabad branch managing committee. So I wish him all the best for all his future endeavors, and look forward for a wonderful session in this session at Kakinada branch. All the best. Thank you, Chairman, for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Actually, Prasanna Kumar, sir, is at Tirupati. He could not attend the meeting. He has blessed us for continuing the program, and wishes us for this on this occasion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All the best. All the best, sir. Thanks.
Anuradha, sir, yes, please welcome the Saran Kumar, sir.
I am introducing CS Saran Kumar Garu. He is qualified as a chartered accountant in the year 2010. He completed his diploma in information system audit from ICAA. He also certificate holder in forensic accounting and fraud detection, and course and concurrent audit from ICAA. He has worked with Microsoft and Ca.U.Saran Bank for more than 4 years. Presently, he is the managing partner at T.Sachinana & Co. His specialization includes statute audits, internal audits, forensic audits, transaction audits under IBC, automation of financial process, data analytics, including reconciliation, etc. Having overall more than 10 years of experience in handling data analyst tools like MS Excel, Power Query, etc. He has been given the regular faculty for FAFD certification course conducted by ICAA. He has been the guest speaker for the seminars being conducted by ICAA and other institutions, CMA, NASM, etc. on the topics of data analytics with MS Excel, audit under CVS environment, Excel as an audit tool, etc. Congrats, sir, Saran Kumar, you will be elected as an ICAA Hyderabad branch, sir. Just know what I know, sir. Congrats, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I mean, inviting Saran Kumar to go for the process, sir.
Yeah.
Topic, sir.
Thank you so much, Gangaram sir, chairman of Kakinada branch, who in fact followed up me many a times to make sure that this session should happen. And thank you so much, Gilly sir, for your great words. You are one of the well-wisher to me at Hyderabad at every step where I have taken from starting from deciding to contest for the Hyderabad branch and till today. My good friends at Kakinada branch, Radhakrishna Garu, Narasimharao Garu, and Murthy Garu, and all of the members. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thanks for the opportunity. Without taking much of the time, as the time is already 11:20 nearby, Let me go into the session. Jairam Garu, could you please give me the host access so that I can share the screen? Yeah,
Yes, sir. You
thank you.
can already share the screen, sir. No problem.
Thank you. I just got it. Yeah. So, as you all know, bank audit is one of the very important process which we do every year. Okay, one of the very important assignment which we do. But very unfortunately, remaining audits where we have a control, we are having a control that how many days we need to complete and so on. But in case of bank audit, you can't sit there and work for 30 days. You can't sit there and work for 20 days for every branch. Every branch. All put together, maximum they may give us a time of 10 days or 1 week. So it's always a bigger question to me that when branch official, you can go to any branch, I'm sure 10 to 15 staff are working into the bank. In that branch, 7 days they work, at least 5 days they work, even leave about Saturday and Sunday. Every day they work for at least 10 hours. So you can put together all the number of hours per year spent by the branch officials and staff are more than thousands of hours. But how a chartered accountant as an or an auditor can complete the entire audit where they spent thousands of hours in just tens of hours. Maximum we may spend 30 or 40 hours for one particular branch. Okay, so that is almost impossible. So since it is impossible task, but what is the best way we can do it? Nothing but using the tools. Okay, so that's the reason today's session we thought of covering Microsoft Excel as a bank audit tool. Let me take this little presentation. Generally, my presentations may not be have great slides. Generally, my presentations have maximum 2 slides. One is a title slide, the other one is thank you slide. In between, everything is Excel. I tried myself to keep some of the slides for today's session. This is, I feel, general the mindset of the chartered accountants. In the month of February, every chartered accountant having a strong will that they should do the best audit for the coming financial year. Considering the same fact, they attend so many seminars. They compile a lot of information, every resource, whatever which comes in the WhatsApp, they download it, they put into a folder, and they keep ready for the bank audit. Finally, they step into the branch. I don't know what happened in those 3 to 5 days. Okay, they will be fall into the trap of the same branch officials and so on. Somehow 3 4 days just get over, and on the last day while signing the report, they realized that they did nothing, and on that day they again have a aim that at least next year I want to do the best audit. This just continue every year. It is a cycle. Okay, my humble suggestion for everyone, break this at least this year. Okay, after the bank audit, you should have a satisfaction, come out with so many points, and especially new LFR talking about so many things. You can't escape the points by just giving a standardized comments which are just going around in the WhatsApp groups. You have to cross check each and everything. You should take the proper scientific sample, then only you can comment upon, right? This is what I like. Another slide I always try to keep in every presentation by Abraham Lincoln. If I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I did spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. 90% of the cases we don't follow this. The point why I'm keeping this slide is when I ask the question, what is the starting day or start day of your bank branch audit? Many people say that once they step into the branch, that day they consider as a start day. But if you ask me, that is a wrong approach. If you ask me what is the start of your bank branch audit, once I get allocated the branches, that day I consider as a starting day of my bank branch audit, because from that day you are appointed, and before even going into the branch, you can ask for so much of information and so on. So once you do a proper homework, like chopping, sharpening the axe, like, so once you spend a proper homework of 2 to 3 days based on the data what you receive, so even you spend 2 days for a bank branch, I'm sure you can do the best branch audit. But without doing any homework, if you are thinking going into a bank and from then taking the data, I doubt you can complete the audit within 2 to 3 days of every branch. So make sure that you plan well to make the best branch audit. Before going myself, let us look into the little part of the CBS environment. I'm not going much deeper into the complexity of CBS environment, but I'm just giving you some idea about this. CBS environment is basically having 3 servers: application server, database server, and reporting server. Application server is the place where we enter the data, our staff enters the data. Example, once you step into the branch, if you want to open a bank account, then branch official open some screen on their window, then they'll start keying the data. That is nothing but the application server. But once they enters the data, where it gets stored, that gets stored into the database server. Database server is the place the entire raw data stores. But for your information, we will not get the access to the database server. For what we'll get the access? We will get the access to the reporting server. There is one more server, we call it as a reporting server. First of all, why the reports are required for the branch? For so many purposes. They may need to send so many reports to the regulators every day, or every fortnight, or every weekly, or every monthly, or every quarterly, and so on. They may need to prepare some of the reports for the management, for the internal decision making. They may even have the reports for the auditors like us. So these all reports get stored into the reporting server. So I'm only talking about this reporting server, because as an auditor, you will get only the access to the reporting server. The first thing as a chartered accountant, as a statutory auditor, once you step into the branch, you need to go to the reporting server. However, I'm going to share a couple of Finacle codes and Banks 24 and FlexiCube CBS codes, which may be helpful at the time of branch bank audit, so that you can just go through those, so that in the reporting server, what type of reports you can take care. Especially in case of SBI, you need to ask for loan balance file, CCOD file, CCDP. If you have these 3 files, I'm sure that is more than sufficient to do the entire bank audit. And you need to also ask for the exceptional reports, where you will have a lot of abnormalities, because branch also need to know, the management should know, okay, some of the exceptions every day. So every day there is a report called exception reports get generated. What you need to do, sample dates and open the exception reports, check it out. Is there any exceptions which you need to comment upon into the LFR? Exceptions like in the dormant account, suddenly there is 10 crore rupees got deposited, or in the dormant account there are funds, suddenly all 10 crores got withdrawn. It is a general regular day-to-day practice in the bank transactions. He will not get a flag. But at the end of the day, since it is what at the back end defined as a parameter, that will get sit into the exception reports. So exception reports are one of the reporting server folder, which is very important for every branch statutory auditor, right? These all are the major CBS. I'm sure you all are aware. Banks 24 by Central Bank of India, SBI, and so on. Finacle you can find in the Union Bank or Canara Bank and so on. Sorry, Union Bank and Syndicate Bank and so on. FlexiCube by the other banks. So let us, without taking much of the time, as I said, my session is more on using the tools, because without using the tools, it is very difficult for us to analyze the data. Let's say if you are not using the tools, this is what the data it appears to you, right? This is what the data it looks like. Okay, but by looking into this data, it is very difficult for you to understand. So what we are going to do, we need to, this is a loan balance file, CCOD file. You have to take these 2 files and combine together. I'm talking about the SBI environment. If it is not an SBI environment, let's say earlier in the Andhra Bank, now it is a Union Bank, they are having only one file called A1, A4 report. Okay, if it is some other file, then you may have different files. For the demand deposits, for the demand term loan, you have one file. Then OD, you have another file. For CC, you have another file. For term loans, you have another file, and so on. So whatever the case it is, you better take all the advances related files, join all the files together. That means append the files one below other. The total of the advances must match with your balance sheet. Many a times we just accept the files what they provide. On the last day, we realized that one of the file got missed. That happened because we did not do the validation controls at every step. Validation control means if you get a file at the bottom, you are having the total. Now your job is just go back to your balance sheet and cross check whether this total is matching or not. Right? If it get matched, that means this is a complete file. If it is not matching, you should ask for the reason And also you should ask for because of what other files it's not matching. Is it because of some other file got missing? We should get that information and so on. So the very important task after knowing what files are important is, as I said, reporting server, right? Reporting server files are mostly into the text format, but not into the Excel, but not into the PDF. The reason behind is because at the bank, thousands of reports they generate, right? But every time keeping thousands of Excel files, the server get crashed because Excel is a flat file, will occupy a lot of space. PDF is a portable document format which occupy a lot of space. But when it is a text file, even a very big information into the text file will not even go beyond 10 KB and so on. That's the reason they try to reduce the size of the server. So they try to go for reports which are into the text format. But you cannot do any analysis looking into the text file. I'm sure you all are aware of it. I can't directly apply the logical operators here. I can't directly apply the pivot table. I can't directly apply the function on. So what I need to do, the first task of the bank audit, open a blank Excel file, make sure that you copy entire file data, Control+C, you go to your MS Excel, you do Control+V. Friends, whoever feels I'm going a little faster, you can ask the question anytime in the chat box. I'm happy to answer. I don't want to cover so much of content without even going 10% into your mind. Instead, I want to cover specific case studies. Even if you can implement those case studies by digesting the content, I'm happy. Okay, instead covering so much and nothing going inside, covering just what is relevant, going inside into your mind. If you are in a position to demonstrate or work with the live case studies once you step into the branch, I'll be more than happy. Okay, so now let me select this column. What are the steps I have done? Let me give the procedure here so that I can share this file so that you can understand. Open the text file. Then what we need to do? Control+A, the shortcut is to select everything. Then you do Control+C, the shortcut is for copying. Then open the blank Excel file. Then you can use Control+V. That is nothing but paste. Then you select the entire column. Why? Because this is not into the different columns. So I need to do different text column, for which I need to go to the data tab. There is an option called text to column, right? Text to column is one of the very important feature. So you can find in the data tab, okay, in the ribbon menu, data tab, then in the data tools group, you will be having an option called text to column, right? Then you need to select either delimited or fixed width. I'll tell you the meaning of delimited or fixed width. Friends, at the time of designing the report, they will understand whether this report is for the information purpose or for the printing purpose. When it is for the printing purpose, the print can happen only with the standard size. That can be A4 size printing or A3 size printing and so on. When it is A4 size printing, the width is standard throughout the world. You can't increase the A4 size paper width, right? Let's say the width of A4 size is 100 characters. Let's say I have 7 columns which needs to be displayed in the printout. Then first column is a standard that should not go be 15 characters. Second column should be 25 characters. Third column should be just 5 characters. Fourth column should be 10 characters. So they define at the back end while generating and designing the report itself, right? In this case, can you tell me, is it a fixed width or delimited? It's a fixed width because for every column, there is a separate items, right? Now let's go to the data. Let's go to the text to column. Text to column. Let's go to the fixed width. Go to the next, right? Go to step by step. And this is a preview. By seeing the preview, you can just break the columns into the different columns. Now let me just give cut here because I want account number must be separated. This is the second column because I want the account type should come separately. Let me keep till here. Then this is the customer number. Let's go a little further towards the right side. This is the customer name. This is the limit. And let me go towards the interest rate. This is the interest rate and this is the theoretical balance. Let me go towards the right side. This is the outstanding balance. You can better keep one space extra, because if any minus is there, sometimes that minus may come after the number. This is what the irregularity. Irregularity is basically the difference between theoretical balance versus the outstanding balance. Sanction date, how many EMIs are due, how many EMIs are paid, how many EMIs are overdue. And this is what new IRAC status. This is what old IRAC status. This is the arrear condition. Arrear condition is very important because that describe what is the reason behind the irregularity. Then this is the branch code. Okay, so account maintaining branch. This is the installment. This is the irregularity date, and this is the unrealized interest, and this is the accrued interest. Is there any stress in the account? You can just find it. What is the SME code? What is the risk asset? Is it a risk asset? And risk asset date, risk assessment date, right of flag, and so on, right? So let me click finish. I just did nothing except broken the column into different columns. If anyone having any question till here, please let me know. I just did text to column. So do text to column. So once done, the column divide into many columns. Divide into many columns. With this, what is the step I did? I converted my text file into the Excel file and I did the text column. Now, is this over? Can I directly start working on this file? No, because I just taken the data. I got the data and I applied the text column. Now you need to, this is just importing the text data into Excel, right? Now, what is the step you need to follow? I need to do the data cleaning activity. What is the meaning of data cleaning? Removing unnecessary data and keeping the data what is required for us, right? For that, I do a couple of steps. I select the first row. How to select the first row? Keep the cursor here, select with the mouse, just come down. What is the shortcut to remove the columns, delete the columns? Control minus. So select the rows till the heading. Then use control minus for deleting the rows. So what happens if I delete the rows? I will find heading. It is always advisable to keep the heading as a first row, so that even if you go to the end, you can just come to the control home so that you can come to the first line. Now you select everything and just auto fit. Auto fit is basically, you know what? Select everything, go to the home tab. You can go to the format, auto fit column width, so that everything properly fit into the proper rows and columns. Now you can just bold it. Now friends, how to remove the unnecessary rows? That means this is not required for me. This is also not required for me. This is also not required. This is also not required. This is also not required. This is also not required, and so on. So how to remove that? I have a one method. I can select from here till the end. So go to A1 cell, do Control Shift End. So what I need to do now, go to A1 cell, use shortcut Control Shift End, Control plus Shift plus End. What it does, selects the entire data, right? Once you select this, go to the data, apply the filter, right? Then apply the filter. Once I apply the filter, what happened, you know? The filter drop down came for every item. Everyone please concentrate. What I can do, I can filter everything except the account numbers. Okay, if you can see, all unnecessary junk data is also there. What I can do, unselect everything, go to the end, because at the end you will be finding the text items, select the blanks. I don't want this, I don't want this, and so on, right? Now you just click OK. What happened? What happened? The entire junk data got selected. Now you keep the cursor, okay, in the account number, filter everything except numbers. right? Then keep the cursor in the A2, Control Shift and again. Why? Because this is a junk data I don't want. I have already given you a shortcut to delete these rows. Can you tell me what is the shortcut to delete these rows? Control minus, right? Enter. So what I have done, go to A2 cell. I am writing very in detail because I'm going to share this file with you so that you are going to apply the same steps. Go to A2 cell, Control plus Shift plus End again to select the entire data, then Control plus minus, okay, for deleting the rows. Then it's going to ask for the pop-up. Do you want to delete the entire row? Click the pop-up. Now with this step, what happened, unnecessary data got deleted. That means every row which is available now is a very important data. Select this. Wow. This is a very clean data. This is what one of the very important task which we do bank branch audit. If you don't do the text column, I'm really sorry, you cannot, and the must need to know. Along with the text column, you must also need to know how to clean up your data, because just converting into different columns may not be helpful to you. You need to clean up the data, right? Once you clean up the data, on this data, you can do so many things. Now, what I'll be doing this is the loan balance file. Wonderful. Now, let us take the CCOD file, right? I'm sure the data I already given, it is a CCOD file. Open this. This is very important because this is also another file where you can find a lot of information. Control plus A, now Control plus E. Now, by looking into this data, you can see something. What is that? This is not a fixed width file, but every column is separated with a character like this. So my job is very simple. What I can do, I can ask Excel to use this as a delimiter and split columns. Control plus A, Control plus C, go here, Control plus V. I told you, right? Go to text to column, go to the delimited, then go to next. I want to have a delimiter. That's a pipe symbol. You can use a shift backward slash. Wow, right? So this is what the delimited item. Go to the next and finish. Wonderful. Now, guys, you select this, you will get to know this entire data. Again, there is a problem with this data. Do you know what? The problem is there are columns which are not required. There are so many rows which are not required for me. But as I mentioned already, you just select it, Control minus, first column is not required. From here, Control Shift End, so that I can use the filter. Now go to the filter, accept the numbers, go to the end, select everything. Wonderful. This is junk data. Control Shift End, select it, Control minus. I did little faster this one because while doing the text columns for the loan balance, the same methodology we adopted. That's the reason I went little faster in this case. Right? This is the account number, account type, customer number, customer name, rate, limit, drawing power. This is the account to balance. This is what I'm telling. In many cases where the minus will come at the end. To overcome this problem, can you tell me what I can do? There is an extra space. Select this, Control plus H. Wherever there is a space, replace with nothing. I don't want to keep anything, but if you observe, I kept a space here. Concentrate everyone. Now I can click replace all. Wow, right? But now if you double click it, then only it will become a positive. Now what I need to do in this case, I don't want even the comma also. Because of comma, it became a text. So what I'll be doing, wherever there is a comma, replace all, right? But how can I make this as a number? It is still as a text if you observe carefully. What I'm going to do, select this text column, just go to the next, just keep general, click finish. That automatically does this job, right? Everyone, whoever missed these steps, please concentrate. Okay, this is what the first one. Everyone, please concentrate. When you find these type of files, what you need to do, first you replace space, wonderful. Then you replace comma, wonderful. Then you go to text column, don't do anything, just go to the end, click finish. Wow. Even this one, you are finding a lot of spaces. What do you need to do? Select this, wherever there is a space, blank text, nothing. That means your space will automatically get eliminated, right? So now I got two files. One file is a loan balance file. The other file is a CCOD file. If anyone having any question till here, please let me know. Friends, this is what the account balance we have. Okay. And also this is what the outstanding balance we have. The total of this and the total of this must match with your balance sheet advances. Okay. So now friends, let me open the, first of all, the LFR, because I'm just trying to explain as if, I entered into the bank branch audit. What are the steps which I follow? I will just go to this RBI material. There is a folder called RBI new LFR review. If you, I don't know how many of you read this. This is 2020 September 5 they released. In this, they kept the new LFR. Everyone has to be followed from financial year 2021. Before going into our data analysis, first let us try to understand what is the scope of a bank branch statutory auditor. Because many a times we are not sure what is our scope. Have a look. Here they clearly mentioned guiding principles on objective, strategy, scope, coverage of LFR for bank branch auditors. This para is very important. Many a times people doesn't know the scope. So they end up doing something which may not be related at all for the bank branch audit. If you can understand this para, you will get to know what is the scope. The overall objective of the bank branch audit should be to have transaction testing and provide inputs to the statutory central auditors and adequacy of implementation of various policy and regulatory requirements that may include efficacy of the system and assurance functions at the branch level. That means the primary objective of the bank branch audit should be the transaction testing and provide inputs to the central statutory auditors. That means our report is more important for the central statutory auditors, because our report will not be published into the financial statements when the bank publishes, because we are just doing an audit of branch, but not for the bank. Who are going to sign on the bank audit report finally for a particular bank? All the central statutory auditors as the joint auditors, they do the report, right? Because they are going to allocate a region wise, circle wise. So they all provide their own reports. Then that will be consolidated at one point. So the overall objective of the branch audit is transaction testing and provide inputs to the central statutory auditors. That is very important. On what? Implementation of various policy and regulatory requirement. That may include the system efficacy and assurance function, right? And also very important, this one. The threshold fixed for the different purposes for comments in the LFR will decide that above the threshold, the transaction detailing needs to be seen and commented upon. But below the threshold, you just need to comment upon the system and process. The meaning is very simple. Wherever in the LFR, they were talking about the threshold, you need to do the transaction audit. Transaction audit is the word used in the IBC also. Transaction audit in the sense, the transaction starting from the first item till the last item, you should see the entire life cycle of the transaction. But if it is below the threshold, you need not to see the end to end, but you can see the process and the system, right? That means for some of the cases, I only check whether the interest rate properly fed into the system. For some of the samples, I check whether the pre-sanction documents are good. For some of the samples, I check whether the post-documentation samples are good. And for some of the samples, I verify during the loan process how the account statement health is there and so on, right? Now let's go down. I'm not talking about assets, and these all are generic things you'll find out, but this is very important. What is this? Advances. If you look into the advances, the first para itself gives us a guidance what we need to do. The answers to the following questions may be based on the auditor's examination of all large advances. For this purpose, large advances are those in respect of which the outstanding amount is in excess of 10% of the outstanding aggregate balance of fund-based and non-fund-based advances of the branch are 10 crore, whichever is less. That means large advances, first you need to take out. You should give all those large advances to your staff, one staff. They should check these large advances starting from the first point till the last point, end to end, right? If below the large advances, they just need to comment upon the system checks. So my first point is how to identify out of these two files the large advances. I'm just going to have here a reconciliation, small reconciliation, LFAR, large advance files, right? So what I need to do, first I need to look into the loan balance file, right? What is the loan balance file outstanding? This is what the outstanding equal to sum, which column? Let's go to the loan balance file. This column, this is what the outstanding 123 crore, right? Then CCOD balance file equal to sum. What is an account balance? Just go here, enter. This is by default negative. Let's keep it as a positive. So minus of minus is a positive. This is 233 crore. The total of this, you know how much? The total advances equal to sum of these two is the total advances, right? So let us take this. Yeah. 10% of this, you know how much? 10% of above. 10% of above equal to this into 10%. That is nothing but the 35 crore. 10% of above, what is the limit? 10 crore, whichever is lower, right? This is 10 crore. I'm sorry, this is 1 crore. Let me add one more zero. Now, large advance limit. Large advance limit. What is the limit? There is a function called a minimum of these two we can identify. This is what the limit of the large advance. Just for the understanding, also have a percentage of outstanding so that you will get to know. This is 100%. So this divided by, okay, this divided by this, then F4, enter, copy, paste, right? So this is what the percentage I should talk about. So almost like 34% are loans, 65% is CCOD. That means majority of the business accounts are there. It is just understanding the nature. Now, what I need to do, I need to put the list of accounts as an annexure. Okay, how to find the list of accounts? Go to the outstanding greater than or equal to greater than or equal. If you observe carefully here, go to the end, you can see the biggest account is 6 crore 95 lakh 90,000. So there are no accounts. Then CCOD, let's go here, less than or equal to minus 10 crore. There is only one account, 12 crore. So what I'll be doing, I will just copy this. I'll go to down. And so this is the one which we need to do end-to-end audit transaction testing. So I'll allocate this to a particular staff and they will start commenting upon. If you remember on this account, even they need to fill a lot of financial ratios also into the, in the system while they are filling the data. That is a branch task. But anyway, we need to look into this particular account and do the transaction audit. So this is what annexure 1. which comes under this, which is nothing but this comment, right? Let us go one after other. What is this? The second comment, the credit appraisal. Okay, look into the documentation. Wherever documentation, I'm not just covering, because documentation, I'm sure you all are aware. You just need to look into the document and make sure that the process is complete. Wherever using the data analysis tools, which we need to do the job, that part I'm completing here. This is another part very important. What is this? Have you come across the cases of quick mortality in your accounts where the facility became non-performing within a period of 12 months from the date of first sanction? Okay, this was not there in the old LFR, but this they introduced in the new LFR, which introduced from the financial year 2021. Maybe the RBI would like to know, based on this comment, how poor the credit control system in the bank. The meaning is, the quick mortality accounts are nothing but, let's say I sanctioned the loan this year, within 8 months it became NPA. That means within 8 months, that means they did not in a position to assess at the time of sanctioning the loan whether this person is having a capability. If more accounts are such type, that means the credit appraisal controls are very poor. Maybe with respect to that, they want to have a analysis. Now, how to do this type of analysis? Now, what I'll be doing, let me save this file, and this is the working file number 2. Now, what I'll be doing, I'll go to the folder. I'm going to share this entire folder with you all later, don't worry. Now, let me keep this here. Okay, close it. I made a separate, this is what the steps to text column. Steps to text column, then cleaning up, cleaning the data, right? Close. Now, guys, please have a look. Let me open. This is also not required. I already taken into the consideration. This is also not required because if you close all the files, I think it is very easy to know. Now, yeah. So let me go back. There is another file which I made it ready. So what is the quick mortality? Let's say I will remove the unnecessary columns, because to calculate the quick mortality, your sanction date is important, your NPA date is important, and based on that, you can filter the quick mortality accounts. Friends, please have a look. This is actually belongs to the previous year file. Okay, so for the time being, when you are looking into my files, please think that these all are the dates belongs to 2000 as on 31st March 2020, not as on 31st March 2021. Okay, so first let me filter all the dates belongs to the 2020. So what I need to do, let me select everything. I don't want January, February, March of 2020. And I want to take further 21, January, February, March. So that I have selected 2021 financial year, right? Click OK. Because whatever the accounts which sanctioned in the previous year, that is very important. Okay. So out of those accounts, within 12 months, which became NPA. Otherwise, you can even delete everything. That's not a problem. Even we can consider for the loan sanction in the even earlier years also. Friends, let me take only the NPA cases, because if an account is a standard, I need not to consider. You have another tag also here, whether it's a performing asset or non-performing asset. I want to take the non-performing asset. Since it's a non-performing asset, NPA date also it has given. Friends, what is the question of the LFR? Please have a look. Have you come across the cases of quick mortality in the accounts where the facility became non-performing within a period of 12 months from the date of first sanction? Okay, that means from the date of sanction, is it became non-performing within 12 months? That means even 12 months and above is accepted. Okay, that means you need not to comment. That means, first of all, I want to know how many months is the difference between these two, right? We have an MS Excel function called date diff. If you want, you can note down date diff. You may surprise that, Mr. Saran, while you are typing the date diff function, nothing is coming under the drop down. Is there any reason? Let me tell you the fact around this. Date diff is one of the very important function, which is there at the back end, but not in the front end of Microsoft Excel. Okay, however, this function work. Don't worry, I'll tell you the syntax. Take the start date of the sanction date, take the NPA date, comma. Now let me put in the double quotation M. What is the meaning of it? It's going to give me completed months between these two. That means if it is 13, the difference between these two dates are 13 months. Enter, copy, and paste. Wow. Now what happened? Between these two, 11 months are there. Between these two, okay, 36 months are there. Between these two, 11 months are there, and so on. But friends, here I need to take only the cases of NPA, right? Here I need to take only the cases of NPA and which are less than or equal to 11 or less than 12. Anything is fine. You should not take 12. 12 means completed 12 months. But there in the LFR, they were talking about the within 12 months. Okay, so let me take this. These all are the cases less than or equal to 12 months. Now what I'll be doing, I will just take this extract. I will go here. I will keep it as an annexure 2 because annexure 1 is already LFR accounts. This is annexure 2. Paste here. Let me give the title as quick mortality account. See, along with your audit, your working papers also should get ready. That is what my point is. The meaning of working papers is tomorrow I can just demonstrate this to any regulator if I get a notice from anyone that this is what the data I have taken. These are all the formats I applied. This is the way I identified. Friends, for this particular point, if you don't have an Excel tool, for you, it is almost impossible looking into thousands of accounts, whether any accounts having a quick mortality nature. That's the reason tools of Excel are anyway mandatory. Otherwise, you cannot complete this, right? Yeah. Let us go a little further. Whether in borrower accounts, the applicable interest rate is correctly fed into the system or not. Okay. For this, I'm sure general standard comment which will be into our audit report is that during our audit, out of the samples taken, we did not find any instance where there is a wrong interest rate fed into the system. Otherwise, during our audit, we did not find the circumstances where otherwise cases, something like this. But tomorrow, if you get a call from the regulator, or even in the peer review, if they ask you to explain what is the background behind this, then can you tell me what you are going to do if that is the case? Nothing, right? So in those cases, we need to have a scientific approach even to take the samples out of it. Friends, random sampling you keep aside because random sampling is not great to work upon. Okay, just give me 2 minutes, sir. Just give me 2 minutes.
Right.
Sir, just 1 minute, sir. I got some urgent call. Just give 1. I'm sorry. Please confirm whether my voice is clear. Jairam
Yes,
Garu?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now
Please.
let us look into this case study whether in borrower accounts the applicable interest rate is correctly fed into the system or not. Normally the cases what we do, we'll take very random sanction letters. In the sanction letter, whatever the interest rate is there, we will go to the system, we will cross verify whether the interest rate is correct or wrong. Okay, so that is what we identify, right? So in this case, I have a scientific approach of following. Let me save this file, close it. Let me open the earlier file of working file, right? This is the loan balance file, right? This is what the product name. This is what the interest rate. For this product, this is the interest rate. These two columns can do a lot of work for me. What I'll be doing in the MS Excel, pivot table is very important. Let me select this data. Go to the insert. Click pivot table. Click OK. Now you will be finding the pivot table into the new Excel worksheet. And this is what the data you have, right? Now let me take the product type here. That means product type is nothing but each product of advance, which is a sanction. And let me also take the interest rate into the values. You may surprise, Saran, what is the meaning of summing all the interest rate under this product? I don't want to do that. Don't worry. Let me take another interest rate. I will take right click. I will take summarize values by minimum. I will take summarize values by maximum, right? What is the meaning of it? Can anyone interpret? For this particular product, let me also take the number of accounts. What I'll be doing, I will also go here because I want to see how many accounts are there. So I want to take the same thing here, right? So this is nothing but number of accounts, and this is nothing but minimum interest rate. This is nothing but maximum interest rate. Wonderful. What is the interpretation? There are two accounts falling into this category. Minimum interest rate is 8.7. Maximum interest rate is 11.45. If the product is same, why there are two different rates? Is it possible? Maybe yes, because of CIBIL rating, because of risk, because of collateral. There are so many parameters which come into the force, okay, which based on which the interest rate may be slightly different. But you will definitely have for one person 5%, the other person 10% for the same product, right? So let me have the spread. What I'll be doing, I will have this minus this. Let me just copy paste. Wow. What I got to know here, I got to know the difference. Now let me have the filter. Let me filter for to higher difference. There is a 7.7 and so on. See, in all these cases, for all these accounts, the lowest interest rate for a product and highest interest rate for the same product is there is so much of difference. Now, for these accounts, I will take it. I'll ask my staff to check into the system whether those are correct or wrong. Now, what I'll be doing here, is, friends, just give me 1 minute. Don't mind because I'm getting so many calls from because tomorrow our new MC meeting is there. Obviously, some of the discussion may happen. I'll just tell them that I'll call them after 1:15. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hope you all understand. Because what happened tomorrow is the new managing committee meeting is there. So obviously, before new managing committee, there will be a lot of discussion with respect to the other things.
Okay, sir. No
So they
problem.
start calling. Yeah. Okay. So in this case, 2.75 is the spread, 5.4 is the spread and so on. Now with respect to this comment, I want to connect this table. Whether in the borrower accounts, the applicable interest rate is correctly fed into the system or not. Instead of taking very random sampling, because this is a logical approach. The meaning is, if really the branch manager want to do a favor to the customer, he will not make a wrong entry which is higher than the regular interest, right? Because if you make a higher rate into the system, then from that month onwards, the system automatically calculates the higher interest. So customer will never accept. But in the other case, if branch manager want to do a favor to the customer, he will make it wrong downside. That means as per the sanction letter 11.5, he can intentionally may keep 9%. He may intentionally keep 10%. So that means out of these two accounts, I want to take the sample. Let's put the sample. I want to take sample one account. One account is basically the downside of it. That means 8.7% I'll take it because I will not bother about higher interest rate. Out of 6 accounts, I want to take 2 accounts. That means bottom side onwards, I'll take it 9.75. Out of 125 accounts, let me verify 5 accounts. Let me verify 1 account. Let me verify 3 accounts. These all are the total samples I want to verify. Okay. Now what my staff will do, they will just double click this. They will take this account from the sanction file or from the sanction letter, they'll take it. They will cross verify into the CBS whether 8.7 has been properly fed or not. Let's say they verified and they found it is correct. But how do you know later, how can you get the proof of the sanction letter? Are you going to get the Xerox copy? I don't suggest it because these days working papers can be even electronic mode. What I will be doing, I will ask my staff to take a snap of it. That means a photo of it, photo of the PDF sanction letter. Then what I'll be doing, I will be going into the insert tab. I'll go to the images, this device. Okay. Whatever the image they store on the desktop, let me go to the desktop. Let me take this image, for example. I'm sorry, this is not the one. What I'll be doing, I'll go to the insert. I will go to here. There is an object, right? Go to the object, create from the file, browse. I'll go to the desktop. Then I will go to some image. Let me take an image of any image is fine. Yeah, VBA icon is there. Now I want to display as an icon only. Click OK. Now this is the proof I embed into my Excel. That means even if I send across this Excel file to you, you can double click this image and this image will get open. Check it out. This, and in this case, it's a 2 sanction, right? 2 letters, right? I can go to the text, go to the object, now create from the file. Let me take another image as a proof. This is just the image I'm just taking. Okay, maybe there in the real cases, you can take the sanction letter images. There's one proof. If you want another proof also, you can keep just besides that. Let's go here. So that even after 10 years, if anyone asks me any question, Mr. Saran, what is the proof you have to do this particular job? Then you can easily ask. Let's take this. I want to have display as an icon. Let's click OK. Let's make it smaller. Then keep besides this, right? So that these all are, this entire working file is a self-explanatory. Generally, one important auditing standard we least bother while doing the audits is audit working papers. But out of the entire audit working paper is one of the most important auditing standard, but we generally don't aware of it. Okay, so this is the way I can take the samples for this particular point in the LFR. Friends, every column talk about some story. If you start looking into every column, you can find one or other story out of the data. That is very important. Okay, so account number is there, customer number is there. Can you find any inference or analysis out of this? Are you getting any IRAC clause with respect to this? Yes. As per the IRAC master circular, if one account under a customer ID becomes NPA, all other accounts become NPA automatically. That is the meaning of it, right? So what I'll be doing, I will just let me give this as, okay, now this is what, right? Let me keep this as maybe the annexure 3 with respect to the LFR point number, this one, right? Whether the interest rate is reviewed periodically as per the guidelines, this you can check in the system and so on. Now, what I'll be doing, I will just go to this loan balance file. First of all, I should have customer number versus account number. Let me save this file, for which I have already prepared one example for easy verification. Let me open this file. What I have made in this file, I also given a tag, whether it is a standard asset or substandard asset. Okay, this is the account number, this is the customer ID. Now what I'll be doing, I will check it out for one customer ID, how many accounts are there. Even if more than one account is there any account which is NPA, and the other account status, whether it is NPA or not. So what I need to do, select this entire data, go to the insert, pivot table, click OK, right? Right? Pivot table, click OK. 1 second. Customer ID here. Wow. Let me take the tag here. Tag is nothing but standard asset or substandard asset. NPA assets or SA assets. Let me take the outstanding, accounts here. But I want to take the count. Very good. It's already taken the count. Now I want to write a small formula. Okay. Now let me remove the grand total. Grand total is anyway not required. Let's go here. Let me remove the grand total. Grand total is off. Also, I want to know the total of balance outstanding, total of advance. So let me go to the down. There is a column called net outstanding. Let's keep here. Yeah. Okay. So this is a count of account. This is accounts number. This is outstanding balance. This is, yeah, remaining automatically. It has fed. Wonderful. There are 54 accounts, which are, let me just put into the comma format, 0 decimal. I'm just selecting this data. Instead, let's go here, comma format, 0 decimal. Wonderful, right? Now, guys, how can you write a formula to make sure whether for each customer ID, whether only standard assets are there or NPA are there or both are there? If only NPA is there, fine, there is no problem. If only standard assets are there, there is no problem. But some of the accounts are NPA, some of the accounts are standard. That is the problem for the customer ID. So what I'll be doing, I will write a small formula and function. What is the and function? Cross check. Is it greater than 0? Is this also greater than 0? If both are greater than 0, my answer will be true, because and function does, you know what, in MS Excel, if all conditions are satisfied, true. Even one condition not satisfied, false. Enter. Just copy and paste. Because it's a false, because both are not having balances. If you come down, maybe at one or other place, you may have true, but anyway, we'll check it out that. Now what I'll be doing, I will just go here, I'll put if function. If the result of and function is true, I want check. That means please check this. What is the reason? If not, this is okay. This is okay. Just copy paste down. I want to take a filter for the check, right? Wonderful. Now let me filter for check. Wow, there are cases. There are 2 accounts actually for this customer ID. One account is under NPA, the other account is under the standard. There are 5 accounts for this customer. 4 accounts are into NPA, One account is in the standard. This is real case study I'm talking about. I found in the Union Bank. Who are in the Union Bank, please make sure to do this exercise. Last year, I verified and I kept all these accounts into my LFR also. After I got this check, then I went and I asked the branch manager, Mr. Branch Manager, what is the reason behind it? Then what he simply answered, Mr. Saran, even if you total all these 25 instances, the total is 0. Then why are you bothering about it? So even there are a couple of accounts which are into the standard, but total is 0. Then why you are bothering about it? That's what he said. Considering his reason, can I ignore this or still I need to comment? I should not ignore, because if you look into the LFR, we are not just talking about the documentation and so on. We are also talking about the asset classification, provisioning of advances, and resolution of stressed asset. This comes under the asset classification. Has the branch identified and classified the advances into standard, substandard, doubtful, loss assets through the computer system without manual intervention? If you are giving a comment positive for this, that means you verified everything and the asset classification is correct. Here, I'm not talking about the materiality of the outstanding, but I'm talking about the classification. That means the nature, the IRAC, the provisioning, the master circular, whether they followed or not. So what I have done, for all the branches where I have done the Union Bank audit, because in one branch I found this type of instance, for all the branches I kept the standard comment stating that in one of the branch of the Union Bank, we found the cases where the asset classification did not happen automatically. The reason behind the it is a standard asset. Okay, what I'll be doing, I will just double click this so that the standard asset will come. Since it is a standard asset, okay, the branch manager can sanction the temporary OD of 10 lakh rupees, and maybe within 1 week the customer can pay. At any time this can be 0. And once he sanctioned 10 lakh rupees, system also will not throw any error, because this is not under the NPA. Very dangerous item, right? So this is another very important aspect you need to identify while you are doing your audit. For this, what columns are important? Customer ID column is important and account number is important. Customer ID, account number, and standard asset are not. And also the net outstanding value, just to see what is the total outstanding and so on. Okay, so this is one stratification which I wanted to do. Now there are so many stratifications you can do. Let's go to our same working file which I was using. Friends, before going into the bank audit, if you get the data, a lot of things you can do. You can even get the control of that particular branch. What I can do, I can just select this entire data. Let's go to the insert, go to the pivot table. Let me click OK. Let me click OK. Right click, show field list. What I want to do is I want to see, first of all, another sampling method. Let's take the outstanding here. It's a sum. Let's take another outstanding. Let us take another outstanding. Let us take another outstanding. You may be thinking, what is the meaning of it? Taking everything one after other automatically. Don't worry, you will get to know, right? Now I want to take the same outstanding in the rows. What happened? For each unique outstanding value, what is the totals you got it? But I don't want to do this. I want to right click. I want to group this. You know what I understood? I want to take all the accounts which are greater than 1 crore. Then what I need to do? I want to starting from 1 crore. Otherwise, leave it as it is. I want to take a starting point. And I know that the maximum value is 6 crore 95 lakh. 1 crore is the step value. Click OK. Wow. It has automatically grouped the data. But what is the meaning, Sharon, keeping entire data one after other? This is the outstanding I want. This is the outstanding. Okay. Now what I'll be doing, I want to make percentage of grand total. What is the meaning of it? outstanding percentage portfolio. I want to take right click, summarize values by count. This also I want to take summarize values by count, but with percentage of the grand total. Let's take the count. Now what I'll be doing, this is what the number accounts. This is the number accounts percentage. Wonderful, right? You just go towards the right side. Check it out. This gives you some clarity about your portfolio. Now, if I want to see the priority, if I can do the audit of these 6 accounts, that means I'm covering almost 19% of my sampling. That means this is what my first priority of the data. This is my first priority. Okay. And this is my second priority of audit. If I do the audit of these 10 files, 10 accounts, I'm sure I can cover 11% of the portfolio. Second priority. And these all are the first priority. How to copy this, how to get this extract? Don't worry. I have a methodology. I can just copy this. I will paste here. See, this everything is above 1 crore, right? Right click, group. I want to start from 1 crore itself, right? Then I want to have a step value, maybe some 7 crore. Click OK. What happened, you know? Oh my God. Okay, because the grouping, everything got changed. Now what I'll be doing, I'll take it separately just for your information. Okay. This is nothing but the stratification 1. Strat 1. Okay. What I'll be doing, you know, I will just go here. I will take another pivot table. Right. So I will take the same thing. Okay. Whoever did earlier. Okay. You can, whoever understood, just cross check whether you understood correctly or not. I've taken this. Let me take the outstanding. What I have done, you know, I just right click, I did grouping. This time I want to take everything above 1 crore directly. So my starting point itself is I want to take 1 crore, but I want to have a step value 7 crore. With this, what I understood, less than 1 crore came one grouping, everything above 1 crore came another grouping. Now I want to show report filter. Sorry, this one is sum fine. This one is percentage of the grand total. This one is count fine. This one is count of percentage. See, doing a bank audit is an art. If you properly do it, you will enjoy it, because later if you start looking into the files, what you work, account number, account numbers, accounts, or else accounts, right? Accounts total, accounts percentage, right? Just go towards the right side. Check it out. If you can do the audit of 16 accounts, you are covering 31%. So what I'll be doing, this is stratification number 2. I can simply double click this so that this is what my annexure for, so that this I can allocate to a staff, right? So what I'll be doing, I'll just take it. These all are the accounts to be verified. Even while following the sampling, I am going into a very random methodology. Okay, so very scientific methodology. I'm sorry, not random methodology, scientific methodology. Now I can just keep this as a stat and keep this as an annexure 4. And let's keep the stratifications properly. This is what the stratum 1 and this is what the stratum 2, right? And also, if you want to do sample again with respect to the product, because I want to cover one account from every product, maybe with this, I may not cover all the products, right? If that is the case, go here again, go to the pivot table. Now click enter. I want to take this time the product type. Now I'll do the same, maybe the percentage wise. Let's go here. Let's go here. I want to do the sum of this. I want to do the sum percentage. Pivot table, if you know, you can play with your data. This is what which make the entire bank audit easy for us. This is what the outstanding we have. So this is what the outstanding, this is what the outstanding percentage, this is what the count of accounts, this is what the count percentage, right? And I want to take the higher values. So this one, let me do copy paste format proper 0 decimal. Now what I want is I want to take the filter sort largest to maximum. So since the values are high, maybe I can take just here the samples. Let me take the samples. How many samples I want to take out of this? 45 crore. There are 125 accounts. Let us take some 10 samples out of this. Let us take some this is 8 samples. This is 5 samples. This is only 3 accounts are there, 1 sample. This is 3 samples, 4 samples, 1 sample. This is 4 samples, 4 samples. You can take 2 samples, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. This you can say 2 samples, 1, 1, 1, 1. I make sure that while I do the audit, every product, at least 1 account is there. Now, total samples which I'm taking is 56. I want to allocate this to staff. How you can allocate? Maybe this one to the staff, 1. Okay, this one to the staff 2, and so on. But how can you allocate even randomly to your staff? Very simple. Equal to, there is a function called choose. Let's say in my office, there are 4 staff. I can put random between 1, 4. What it does, it's going to give the random number generation. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 4, right? That value 1, which value it has to be taken into the consideration. So there are 4 staff, right? Let's say staff A, staff 2B, staff C, staff D. Close bracket. That means if this result is giving me 1, out of these 4, first value is staff A. If this result giving 2, staff B, 3, staff C, 4, staff D. Wow. If you keep on pressing F9, these values will change because F9 means refresh. At one point, if you find everything is correct, you can copy paste special values so that the formula will disappear, value will remain. So that even I am allocating to the staff. Friends, why I'm covering all these? Because tomorrow, if you get even any call from your regulator, if you explain this scientific approach to them, then I'm sure your audit will be perfect. And also, I don't want, once you step into the branch, doing an audit planning, you must need to do well in advance. Sampling, you must need to do well in advance. The staff, the article students who go into the audit branch, from the first minute, they should start working. They should not go around what they need to do from once they step into the branch. That is what my point is. This is stratum number 3. And let them take the samples. What they'll do, they'll just double click this, they'll take 8 accounts out of this, they'll double click this, they'll take randomly 5 accounts, and so on. Okay, so this is what the 5. And a lot of things, as I told you, right? If you look into these columns, each column talk about so much of story. If you look into the theoretical balance and outstanding balance, are you finding any story you are getting out of this? Yes, because when it comes to the theoretical balance and outstanding balance, theo balance versus outstanding balance. Do you know what is the thing you can understand? First of all, what is the theo balance? Theo balance means ideal balance. What's the meaning of it? If customer could have paid everything on date, what must be the balance in the account? Theo balance is a ideal balance. Should have been this much if you paid everything proper, right? That means let us see three scenarios. If Theo balance is greater than actual outstanding, what it indicates, anyone? That means customer is paying excess, customer paid excess than required. Rather, customer paid before the due date. If Theo balance is equal to the actual outstanding, what is the meaning of it? Customer is paying on the due date. is paying on the due date, on time. The another case, Theo balance is less than the actual outstanding. That means actual outstanding is more. That means there is a irregularity. There is a irregularity. Now what I can do, since my CC loan balance file has given this column, these two columns, irregularity I already got. Now let us calculate the irregularity on my own. Irregularity equal to this minus this, right? If this minus this, right? If this minus this is greater than 0, then give me the same, this minus this. If not, 0, enter. That means if my outstanding is more than Theo balance, otherwise you can take in this way. If the outstanding is, if my outstanding is greater than this, then this minus this. If not, 0. Wow, just copy paste. Friends, this is the column which I have prepared. Just give me 1 minute. Sorry. Okay, so this is the irregularity which I calculated. Now what I want to do is I want to see whether what I calculated and what is this both are same. Okay, let me copy this and paste below. So this is a proof, a check. Check is basically every step we have a validation control to make sure that what the banker is giving the data and what we are calculating. In this case, if you observe my total of the check is 0, you may find some exponential, don't worry, that is nothing but the 0. If you check it out here, the sum is 0. That means what the irregularity the bank has given, what the irregularity I calculated, both are fine. Now let us look into the logical conclusion out of these two balances. Theoretical balance, as I said, it is an ideal balance. Outstanding balance is nothing but the actual balance. If the actual balance is more, that means there is an irregularity. I found irregularity. But how to understand this irregularity? If irregularity is 100 rupees, can I directly say that there is an NPA? No. I need to cross check how many times this irregularity with respect to the EMI. So I'll just take irregularity balance, divide with, I will go with the installment. You will find here a column called EMI or installment amount. With this, what I can know, how many EMIs it is irregular. If it is it above 1 or is it above 2 or is it above 3? Let me enter, copy paste. You will even find the decimals, don't worry. Now you got some information. Now let me filter everything greater than or equal to 3. I'm sure you go and cross check all these rows will be into your NPA file. If not, then it is a question for the comment. Why these are not into the NPA? Though irregularity is 18,000, whereas my just EMI is 4,000. That means EMI is 4,000. 4 into 3 is 12,000. This is much bigger than 12,000. That means it is excess than 3 quarters. What may be included into that? That is a point. And not only the cases. Now you can simply, as I said, preparing a working paper along this. This is months irregularity, months number, right? So you can just copy this and you can go to another sheet, you insert it and you can make it as an annexure file. Annexure file. Just paste it. These all are the one where you need to comment upon. You should make sure that identifying the reasons for this, right? And also I will more care, not just the cases where it is greater than 3, where it is nearby 3. Now what I'll be doing, this is right. I'll just take between, okay, 1 to 2. What is the meaning of it? These all must be into your SMA1 report. As you all know, in the LFAR, you need to comment upon SMA reports also. Check it out. Whether the branch is following the system of classifying the account into SMA0, SMA1, SMA2. Whether the auditor disagrees with the branch classification of advances. What do you need to do? You have to take a SMA reports as on 31st March 2022. Then you take all these accounts and make sure that whether these all are into the SMA 1. As you all know, for the loan balance, term loans or any loans which are having the equated installment in the nature, then we call that, then three types of SMA we have. SMA 0, that means irregularity is 0 to 1 month. SMA 1, 1 to 2 months. SMA 2, 2 to 3 months. Then after SMA 2, that automatically becomes substandard, that is the NPA. Okay, so that verification you need to do along with your analysis, right? This must be into the SMA 1 report. Then you filter everything below 1 to 2, then that would be into SMA 2 and so on. If you want to have a proper stratification, you know what I'll be doing? Make a pivot table again, thanks to Excel. Pivot is more simple. Then you go down, months number. There are so many months are there. I least bother. I'll be just taking the outstanding. Okay, same. What I'll be doing, maybe I'll take the outstanding. Where is the outstanding? This is what the outstanding. Now what I'll be doing, I will right click here. I want to have a proper grouping. Right click, group from 0 to this one. I want 1 as a step value, so that 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and so on. Otherwise, I want to end with 3, so that you know what happened. 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, above 3, everything it will consider as 1, right? So right click, and I want to give the comma format for this. I'm sorry, 1 second. Very important. Now, friends, this must be into SMA 0 report. This must be into SMA 1 report. This must be into SMA 2 report. This must be into the NPA. What I'll be doing, let me give accounts also. So what is the, how many number of accounts? Now let's take the count so that you can understand, right? These 3 must be into the NPA 5. These 5 must be into this. 18 must be into SMA 1. You can check it out whether, because even 0 is also there. Maybe ignoring 0, you may find many items out. So this is the annexure number 6. Annexure number 6, SMA report related. Friends, if you really make your entire audit in this way, even tomorrow you get a call from the regulator, you can explain to them as a story. I'm sure they will listen. If you don't have anything like this, they consider that you did not do the proper audit. My only point of today's session is to make sure that you are following this. Okay, so this is another important thing. Every column, as I said, having its own importance. Now you can, this is these 2 columns I have calculated. So let me green color, right? Sanction date, you can see it, EMIs and so on. Friends, arrear condition is very important. Every file, every bank, that may be SBI, that may be Finacle Usage Bank or FlexiCube Usage Bank, one or other case, okay, one or other file, in one or other file, you'll find the condition. That means on basis of what condition they will classify the account. Arrear condition is very important. You need to identify the reason why 0 is there. Other than 0, there, see, you can find there are so many conditions here. What are they? 501, 505, 701, and so on. Don't worry, I have already given one file to you where it has described the meaning of those accounts, those codes. Check it out. See, this is what the meaning of arrear condition in the Banks 24 software, right? What I need to do, let me put one more column, reason for the arrear condition. What is, how to get the reason, which is here. What is a function I should use? I may use a function called VLOOKUP function, right? Wait, yeah, I may use a function called VLOOKUP function. Yeah, here, equal to VLOOKUP, look for this arrear condition where, you know, go to the other file, select these 2 columns. I want to get the second column value as an answer. Don't worry, this function is very simple to understand carefully. I want to find this arrear condition in this table, which is in the analysis of loan balance file. If this is available, Out of this table, get the second column value as an answer. Enter, copy and paste. It looks a little odd finding the n error. So what I'll be doing, I will use one more function. If error, if this entire result is an error, give me nothing. Open double quote, close double quote. Wonderful. This is the one I have created. Now what I'll be doing, I will just go to the pivot table again, right? Finish. I have taken the reason for the irregularity, right? And some are blank. You can leave them as it is, no problem. Now I want to take how many accounts are there and what is the outstanding number of accounts. Let's take the count, right? This is what the outstanding, this is what the count. And I want to keep this as maybe 0 in the sense those all are not coming into any of the classification. So this one, I want to keep comma with 0, right? Okay, so these all are regular, it seems, but you need to get the clarification. And this is greater than 2 EMIs overdue, then 1 month to 2 EMIs. So 30 days overdue in the sense this is SMA 1, and this must be into SMA 1. These 4 accounts must be into SMA 0 because it is 7 to 29 days. Then this is again SMA 0. Then this is greater than 60 days irregularity. SMA 2, 30 days irregularity. SMA 1, greater than 1 year. This is anyway substandard. Okay, so this is the way, this is standard. These all are anyway standard, but in the standard, these all are SMAs. Now you can correlate whether this annexure you have is having proper analysis with the annexure what you prepared. Now this is annexure number 7. Now because here I identified some of the SMAs, here also I identified some of the SMAs. Check it out, SMA 2 are there. In this I found SMA 2 is 5. Why the reason? Okay, so once you start analyzing, you will get to know, then whatever the management is giving you the answers, then you can start looking into those answers, as simple as it. Okay, so this is what the loan balance file related, and the same thing you can just start looking into the other files. Now, you know, if you go into the CCOD file, you can find again the sanction letter and drawing power. Then you can just keep the lower of these two must be your items. So let me insert one more column. Let me keep it as a green color. It is an indication that it is I have entered. So this is just the cross check. Is there any irregularity or not? So what I'll be doing, I will use if function. Sorry, I'll use the min function. Minimum of drawing power and limit I should take. Okay. Then I should see the outstanding. Okay. Out of these two, now let us take the minimum of this, copy and paste. Now what I need to do, my account balance must be lesser than this minimum. Yes or no? Drawing power or the limit, sanction limit, whichever is lower, we need to take it. But account balance must be always lesser than what we are taking over there, right? So what I'll be doing here, I will just cross check if this is less than my actual balance, right? Put minus, less than my actual balance. That means there is an irregularity. Then what I need to do, this minus minimum of these two. This is the irregularity. Otherwise, just make it 0. Enter. It is irregularity is, I think, yeah. I think something went wrong. The minimum is 0. Oh, is if this is greater than. No, if this is less than, okay, because I have taken minus figure, that's fine. We'll see the reason why it is minus. Yeah, you check it out. See, 1,04,000 is the one, 1,04,400. The same is the outstanding. 54,600 is the limit, 54,600. But unfortunately here, 69,000. Okay, minus of minus. I'm sorry. I think I should keep it because of this minus issue. I'll just make it minus, right? Yeah, now you will find it correct. Check it out. 69,300 is the sanction limit. Drawing power is also thing. Whereas he has withdrawn 79,200. 9,900 is the irregularity. I have already got the irregularity column here. Now I need to, this is a CCOD file. That's the reason it is a little different. Now I need to cross check what I calculated, what they calculated, both are same. Now you can have just the check. Okay, this must be minus, this must be 0. Okay, check it out. Everything is 0. Wow. So let me keep this as the green color so that I know that this is the column which I calculated. This is irregularity manual calculation, right? So you have again new IRAC and old IRAC here, arrear condition. Where is the arrear condition? This is, I think, is the arrear condition. It went a little wrong with respect to the dates. This is the date. This is new one. This is new. This is old. Okay, headings are a little different. Now I can have, can you write, put the reason, same thing like earlier? Reason equal to VLOOKUP. Look for this value where, okay, within this, get the second column value as an answer, copy this and paste here. I don't want the error. So what I can do, if this entire result is an error, then give me 0 as an answer, or else give nothing, right? Wonderful. Oh, sorry, if error, right? I'm sorry. If error, if this entire result is an error, give me nothing. Copy and paste. Now what I can do, I can just use the pivot table. Then I can just go to the region. Where is the reason? Arrear condition region. I can go to the outstanding. That's nothing but the actual account balance. So this is what the account balance. I can even put the number of accounts so that I will get to know. Wow, this is a very detailed arrear condition related exercise we can find. Now this is what the outstanding is, what the outstanding balance, and this what the number of accounts. Wonderful. Let me put right click, this one especially, right click, and I can just count, right? So this must be regular, because nothing is there. Maybe if we get the confirmation that it's a regular, greater than 180 days. So how you need to identify? So SMA 1 and SMA 2. SMA 1 is 30 to 60 days. SMA 2 is 60 to 90 days. So these all are okay. Age of stock statement is, see, for every quarter you need to take a stock statement. After the expiry of the stock statement, then 7 days, then it is basically the SMA 0. Okay, because 97 days, then 90 plus 90, this is I can make it as a substandard, because already 90 days is over, again 90 days is over, 180 days, and this is 90 plus 60 days, this is SMA 2, right? This is anyway doubtful, they themselves mention doubtful, and this is interest not served greater than or equal to 30 days. Okay, that means it can be SMA 1. Okay, otherwise they should have given greater than 60 days. This is interest not served 7 to SMA 0. Then this is SMA 0. Then this is irregularity greater than or equal to 60 days. It is SMA 2. Then this is SMA 1. This is renewal date more than 180 days. Okay, so this is SMA, because from the date it should be within 90 days. Okay, anyway 6 months time is there. Okay, this can be taken as SMA 2, and this is SMA 1, because 3 months substandard this is anyway. Okay, you can just start looking into those, because you need to really look into this, what exactly the sanction date, what must be the renewal date, from the renewal date how many days it's get over, and so on. So you make sure that these all you cross check with the SMA report what you get it, and if everything is fine, then you can comment here that whether the branch is following the system of classifying the accounts into SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2, whether the auditor disagree with this. If you find somewhere you are not accepting it, then you can say, you can give a comment and you can mention all those list of accounts. Okay, so that is what my point. If you really start reading the accounts, now this is what annexure number 9, annexure number 10, annexure 10, on SMA. This is on CC45. Then you can just start looking into that. Different columns will give you different meaning. Okay, let me save this. Any specific question, guys? Now that another 7 minutes we have, I'm just stopping here because for the last 1 hour 40 minutes it was just going on. I don't know how many are following or not, but I can see constantly the number of participants 27, 26. It is at least giving me a positive thing that people are there. Sir, Gangaram, sir.
సార్ ఎక్సలెంట్ సెషన్ సార్. యాక్చువల్లీ మాకు డౌట్ అంటే అది ట్రైన్ చేసుకుంటేనే వస్తుంది. డెఫినెట్ గా ట్రైల్ వేస్తాను పూర్తిగాను. లాస్ట్ టైం ఆల్సో యూ హావ్ హెల్ప్డ్ మీ లాట్, బిఫోర్ లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ ఆల్సో యూ హావ్ హెల్ప్డ్ మీ లాట్. నో డౌట్ సార్, వీఆర్ ఆల్వేస్ taking your help whenever we are feeling any difficulty in getting through the situations.
All the time, sir.
Definitely
we can take another 5 minutes question and answer, sir. Then we can
sure, sure.
Okay, sir.
Any question? I know that I went maybe a little faster, but my only point is if you can do a proper audit, okay, even yes. 5 hours is not sufficient. We can go into every column, we can start analyzing every column, so that at least after the audit you feel that yes, we have done the proper audit. You just come out after the audit, I am sure none of the working files will be with you. This procedure will prepare the working files along with your work. Okay. Yeah. Any question from Narsimhan sir or Shivakumar sir or Murthy garu?
Sir, I have one doubt regarding the quick mortality account, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, how did you got that NPA file, sir?
Sir, generally, basically, you will get NPA file separately, sir.
Yes, Mr.
You will get loan.
Yes, sir.
You use a VLOOKUP function with the account number so that you will get the NPA date and NPA accounts.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure at least 20-30% of my content went into your minds and you digested.
No, yeah. Sir, this is multiple of 29, 25 or 26. No doubt, sir, in that.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
So, they will definitely has to use as their tuition come lecturer in doing the exercise, actually.
Right.
Last year you have developed one Excel utility, sir. So last year
I'll be sharing, sir, because this year, you know, exactly with the elections and everything came in the month of March. There is a lot of rush, but certainly I'll release, sir. I'll release.
Thank you, sir.
Updated SBI as well as Union Bank tool. Yeah.
Share it, sir, so that members will be benefited by this.
No, I'll be sharing across to everyone for free, sir. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Saran garu, thank you very much. Idi practical ga చాలా ఉపయోగం ఉంది. మాకు కావాల్సింది కూడా ఇదే.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
ఎందుకంటే ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ యూ సెడ్ నెక్స్ట్ టైం నుంచి చాలా స్ట్రాంగ్ గా చేద్దాం ఉంటుంది. అది అందరికీ ఉన్నదే, కానీ అది ఇప్పటి నుంచే మొదలెడతాం.
Please, sir. Please. I'll share across all these files, sir. Yeah. Okay. Link ki Gangaram garki. Maybe he will share across to you, all of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bhavani is there in the session. The another technology.
Yes, sir. Later joined, madam.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Bhavani. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you? It was a great session, sir.
Happy to see you in the session, Bhavani.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm feeling like you're faster than Aldrich.
Yeah.
In Excel.
Yeah, Excel. See, if you start using it, you know, obviously Excel is one of the very wonderful tools.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Great.
It was very nice, sir.
Yeah, Richard Matthew from Calicut. In fact, I missed the session at Calicut. Though they asked me on 21st, but 21st was my result date. I could not. Richard, are you there in the session?
Yeah, I am there.
How are you, Richard?
Yeah, I'm fine. Hope you are good.
I'm great. Thank you.
It was a good session.
Yeah, actually, Calicut people called me for a session, but somehow I was occupied till 21st, and from 23rd continuously I'm traveling, which is preoccupied with sessions at different places.
Yeah, there was a session on 21st. I couldn't attend that session, so that's why I joined here.
Great.
It was really good to use more like this Excel. If we can use it during the bank audit, it will be very great. It will be of very great help.
Yes, Mr. Richard, right.
రెండో అయిపోయాయి కదా యూనిఫికేషన్ రెండు చెప్పారు నోటిఫికేషన్.
I can see senior member Mohan sir also here. S. Mohan Garu.
Yes, sir.
Mohan sir, how are you, sir? Are you there? Mohan sir, your voice is not audible. Okay. Sir, that's all from my end, sir. If anything, probably you can add up and we can close.
Thank you very much, sir. Anuradha, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Before closing, ask the
Sarvan garu.
Calicut person whether he enjoyed the session or not, because he has participated, one of the person who has participated from Kerala.
Richard sir.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Are you
Tell
enjoyed,
about the
sir?
program, sir, please.
Sorry.
Tell about the program. Have you enjoyed the presentation of our Saran Kumar sir?
Yeah, really enjoyed. I am looking forward to using Excel during this bank audit for this year. More